board at this point in time. But I think first we need a motion on, I'm not exactly sure what we can motion on without a discussion on this one.
You can say something similar to grant, people to put a driveway coating on the clear.
Right, I'll make a motion not to allow a driveway coating to be put on the front driveway or walkway.
Okay.
And I'll second it.
Max is seconding that motion. Okay, there is a motion to deny the request to put the coating on. Discussion by the board, please. Or comments, questions, whatever.
I have none to add. I don't approve.
In my opinion, the association is responsible for the driveways, repair and maintenance and replacement if necessary. And having some of the driveways or even one of the driveways have a coating, in my opinion, and I've done a coating on driveways previously before moving here, it does change the appearance. If it's done by the homeowner, like me, it changed the appearance a lot. If it was done by a professional, it still changes the appearance, but it changes the nature of the driveway. We do not want to assume that responsibility of putting the driveway back into that position if some other type of repair gets done, or trying to figure out who's responsible for renewing the coating. From everything that I've researched and looked at, the coating needs to be put on anywhere from 3 to 5 years on a regular basis. Everything that I researched as well, it doesn't eliminate the tire tracks. It may make the tire tracks easier to clean up, but here again, I borrowed a power washer about a month and a half ago, maybe even 2 months ago, but before this whole issue came up, before this request came up, and I bought a driveway detergent at Walmart for about $12. It took me maybe an hour, a little more than an hour, and I got off a substantial portion of the tire marks. So there are other ways to remove the tire marks. I don't know if there's contractors out there that would do it. I presume that there are, but I don't know of any. It's not that hard of a job for, someone to do if you're mobile enough and handy enough, I suppose. So,
As the treasurer, I also have a concern about the cost involved in getting the CCRs changed, as well as all the legal ramifications of getting it passed through, and with the full vote of the homeowners as well, once it's proposed. And then based on recent law going back and having other sections of the CCRs amended prior to being even able to do that. So cost-wise, I'm just...
Along those lines, Bob, I wonder if a person moves out of their unit, you can put it on the microphone, if a person moves out of their unit and it's time to recoat that driveway and that person doesn't want to pay to have it redrive, who's going to pay for it? It's going to, maybe the person moving in doesn't want to have the coating on their driveway.
that's one of the reasons why we would have to amend the CCNRs, in my opinion, if we were to allow this. And that's a very time-consuming and possibly costly process. And, one of the first steps in doing that process would be to get a vote by all of the members, not in a meeting, but an actual physical ballot.
And my second point on input is I have received emails from various residents that they don't think it's necessary that the driveways be coated. That's input from other people that live near me in the emails that I've received.
I can help with a question. Thank you. Any other board discussion? No. audience discussion.
Any comments, questions by the board or by the residents? Yes, Tom.
Two things. Number one, I agree with you 100% about cleaning it yourself. I've lived in 10 different places, and I've never had a driveway that didn't have tire marks. Okay, like maybe the Art Tundra you wouldn't have them, but you're going to have them down here. Secondly, anybody that came in here who didn't do their due diligence and researched the CCRs before they came in shouldn't think that they can come in now and just because they want it, have it done. I don't see why we have to respond to that as a board or an association.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Anybody else?
Any comments from the Zoom people?
Yes. I'd like to know that the audience there can hear me speak. Randy White here.
Yes.
Can the audience hear me speak?
Yes. Yes, they can.
Okay. So as regards to this issue, if the Villa's HOA is going to maintain driveways, then they should maintain driveways so they don't look like they're all scarred up. And I made application for that and was denied. And so it's my job to fix the scars on my driveway in a, quote, lock and leave community. I'm not happy about that. Let me continue. The POA for the Master Association has approved these coatings almost a year ago now, and they're being applied and they're successful in mitigating the black marks. Now, the HOA here is not the POA there. I understand that, but there's a model for that performance out there. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Good. Thank you. So, and
Very well, so
I would say that experience has been articulated by some of the board members here is inconsistent with the research that has been conducted by an ad hoc group that illustrates that these are effective in protecting the driveways from scarring, removable with a mere water hose from your garden hose bib, as opposed to power washing. That is actual experience articulated by other residents that have these coatings on that are not part of the villas but are a part of the Quail Creek POA. Okay? I've sent 13 communications to the board and to Cadden as regards to this matter. None of them have been answered. None of them. And it would have been simple to have a conversation on the phone as I invited, or to answer some of the emails. Instead, now what we've got is a matter here at hand for the general population of the membership to discuss. Now, regulation change is what would be necessary. A proposed regulation change was part of my communication. It's simple and it's in 1.5 sentences. There's no CC&R change required. The regulation change parallels that used in the POA. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. That's my input on this until I think of more. How long did that take?
You got 24 seconds.
24 seconds. I will say this, to approach this matter in the way that the board has without any reply communication as regards these suggestions and as regards to other ad hoc members amplifying their sentiments in favor of this change, I think that's deplorable. Furthermore, the actual spending of the money to do this work would be by the homeowner, not by the board or the villas. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment.
Call for question.
Yes.
A little bit, it's redundant to what we said earlier. I'm Judy Messner. We moved to our villa in 2016, and we're at 895 North Broken Hills Drive. We moved here from Oregon, and we wanted to make this our full-time house, which it is. It's our full-time home. I strongly object to allowing residents to seal coat their driveways. seal coating does alter driveway appearance, and it will alter the unified appearance of our villa community. When we bought into Quail Creek, I reviewed the CCRs and agreed to abide by them. I had every confidence that our villa community would be well maintained and preserved, because any proposed changes would be tightly managed by Rosen, as they were at the time that we made our purchase. I did not want to buy into a patchwork quilt that we often see in older condo communities where owners have customized their paint, their yard art, their driveway and walkway finishes, and so on. The unified appearance of the villas and the rules meant to preserve it were selling points for us. I was shocked and concerned when last year when Rosen announced they were turning over the control of our villas to an HOA board of residents. No offense. I feared the high uniform standards maintained by Rosen could be eroded either by benign neglect or by conceding to the loudest voices for change. I was a volunteer property manager for 9 years and a volunteer property board member for 17 years. I recognize these pitfalls. As a villa owner, I believe CCNRs that would alter the appearance of our lovely community should be very hard to change. This particular proposal will allow a patchwork of driveway finishes that are noticeably different. Furthermore, I fear that approving a change such as this is a gateway to approving future proposals that will further degrade the appearance of our lovely villa community as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very well put.
Anybody else? Any other comments? With that, discussion is closed. Take it to a vote.
You're voting against the code.
The motion was to reject the permit application for, I think there's a permit application pending, isn't there technically with this?
Technically, but that was not the motion.
Okay. The motion was to not allow coating of a driveway.
I am in favor, not allowing.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimously rejected.